Hello, I'm Emma Hammett from firstaidforpets.net, and today I'm going to talk to you about Lyme disease and about the little ticks that carry it and why it is particularly serious for humans, but it can also affect your pets. So what to look out for and what to do. So ticks are tiny creatures that live in woodland and grassy areas. They are absolutely minuscule, but they are blood-sucking, and when they start sucking your blood, they swell, and they can swell up to the size of a pea, and therefore they're much easier to spot and remove at that point. Some ticks carry Lyme disease, and so if you find that you've got a tick, you should be very careful about removing it quickly. You should be checking for ticks whenever you've been out for a walk with your pet. Particularly if you've been anywhere where there's deer or woodland and grassy areas, that's particularly where they like to hide and hang out. And if they can, they will just sucker onto you, and you need to check because you may not know. So get in the habit of, when you come in from your walk, to check yourself and your pet, because it might not have bitten you at that point, but if it's on your pet, it's either going to bite them or it's going to bite you later. So make sure you check both of them, and that becomes your routine. You can get some very helpful little tick removal kit that just, you put it in and you twist it, and that will just lever the tick out. They're cheap, they're easy to come by, and you just buy them online. Or quite often your vet might be able to give you one, or you can buy one from there. Ideally, a tick should be removed by a health professional if you haven't got a proper tick remover to get it out. If you are doing it yourself and you haven't got a tick remover, you can do it with tweezers, but you need to make sure that you do it in a very careful way so that you pull out the whole of the tick and you don't leave part of it behind. Quite often the mouthpiece will bite into you and you can pull the rest of it out, in which case you're going to be prone to infection and you may need antibiotics to get it out. Never burn off a tick or try and use chemicals to kill it, and keep the tick in a container to show health professionals to ensure that it has been removed entirely if you are concerned that it might not have been. When you are walking and you're out and about, cover up with long trousers and socks. And as I said before, make sure you check yourself and your dog when you come in. Now, Lyme disease is really serious in humans. It starts with sort of flu-like symptoms, lethargy, aches and pains. It can make you feel horrendous, and it can cause long-term systemic damage. If you get it treated and caught early, you have incredible high-dose antibiotics to try and zap it, and they can help significantly. So the key is to catch it as quickly as possible. So if you are feeling really fluey, but you have been out with your dog and you think there's a possibility you could have been bitten by a tick, go and get yourself checked. They can run a blood test and see if you've got the Lyme disease antibodies in your blood, and then they can treat it accordingly. Now, about 50% of people with Lyme disease develop a classic bullseye type rash, which can appear on any part of the body, and it's not necessarily where you were bitten. And that means that 50% of people don't develop this rash, and that rash also doesn't happen immediately. So if you are feeling rotten, get yourself checked out and mention to your doctor, I am a dog walker, or I have a pet, and I've been walking in the park recently. Could it be Lyme disease? Ask the question, they can run a blood test. If it's untreated, it can lead to paralysis, arthritis, meningitis, and it can kill. Okay, Lyme disease in dogs is not as serious, but it can happen, and it can cause lameness because it can cause inflammation of the joints. It causes a sort of stiff walk with an arched back, sensitivity to touch, difficulty breathing. It can cause your dog to have a loss of appetite and feel depressed, have difficulty breathing. and it can cause heart abnormalities and nervous system complications, and it can make your dog very ill as well. So again, if you've been somewhere where there are ticks, make sure you see your vet if your dog is unwell, and see your vet quickly and mention to them, is there any chance that my pet could have Lyme disease as well? So make sure that when you've been out, you get into the routine and the habit of checking yourself all over and your pet. And if you find any ticks at all, you need to remove them immediately. And if you feel unwell, you need to see your doctor or take your dog, if it's your dog that's unwell, to the vet promptly. So prompt treatment is vitally important. Please share this with other pet owners and people caring for pets, because it is important, and the sooner it is treated, the better. One of my best friends has got Lyme disease, and it's a really rotten illness. I hope that's been helpful. That's Emma Hammett from First Aid for Pets.